Why know yourself? It's a big question. Well, we need to live better, most of us. We need to love better. We need to thrive more. And the only way to do that is to know ourselves and know ourselves very well. And by knowing ourselves, it allows us to set a compass. And because there are a lot of roads that switch off in the world, like we can decide to do this and it can take our life down a whole different path if we just went that way. I mean, we can ask Steve. Steve can look back on his long and illustrious life and say, if I'd have made a couple of different decisions, my life would have turned out either way worse or way better. Like that, those are facts. And that is, we could look back even in our young lives and go, God, if I'd have made just that little tweak, if Desmond would have said, if I would have just done this one other thing, maybe my young life would be worse or better. So by knowing ourselves, we can start to determine what decisions we are actually making and how they affect us, and start to recognize all these relationships in our lives. I mean, me and Jill talk about this all the time, about how people are mirrors. Like people aggravate us and we say, oh, why is that person aggravating me? Because it's something that we have probably done ourselves and we didn't like it, and it makes us mad at ourselves. That is probably very true. But whenever we do recognize that all the periods in our own life, whenever we were the ass, we were the rude person, if we were, like Mario has had unfortunate adventures in his life where he drank too much. And he's made a mess in the yard. Like you can look back on that and go, that was a really, really bad decision. And then as you don't make those bad decisions anymore, as you start to improve and get older, you can kind of get aggravated by other people doing that too, because you're aggravated because you were aggravated at yourself and what your past mistakes were. You're like, ugh, those people irritate me. But you have done the same thing. If you're enjoying this, like and subscribe. Matter of fact, if you like any videos anywhere, give them some support. Like it. Plus the cows will enjoy it too. See you next time. And it makes it a little bit easier because you can start to find a little bit of empathy. You're like, okay, I kind of get it. But if we start recognizing our habits, like Jacob now has gotten to his new job, and he's gotten to this new routine, and now he has this pretty girlfriend, and he's starting to find a new routine in his life. And that new routine is going to start to create new habits. Those new habits, he's going to start to say, he's going to recognize what his other friends have done. Like your other friends have had girlfriends, and all of a sudden they break away and you don't see them much anymore, because now they're in love, or you start making all these different changes in your life. And if you don't recognize them and say, okay, is this the best decision? Am I making the best decisions for the advancement in my life? If you don't ask yourself that, you're going to, more often than not, just let life guide you and circumstance guide you instead of you guiding yourself. And that is just a fact. And are you putting yourself first? I think if we put ourselves first, all of a sudden our relationships get better, because I care about my life, and my life means I want a better relationship with Megan. I want to know Randall better. I want to see Steve a little bit more. I want to be such a good influence, Kyle no longer has to steal my positive energy in the morning. I want Jacob, when I see him, just to be unbelievably thrilled and excited to go to YouTube and like and go, God, I love that guy. I'm going to support him. But be really conscious and aware of what we're doing. And if we're not, like if Kyle would have never recognized, I do know that I come in with my head down, I'm like, good morning, for about 10 minutes, right? But if you didn't recognize that, it can never be fixed. It can never be fixed. If Mario thinks that getting drunk and throwing up in people's yards is like the best thing ever, well, he's never going to stop doing that. It's like he would just never stop. Because, it was kind of fun. I don't remember anything, but that's not good. But being self-aware and self-discovery allows us to have these keys. It allows us to choose good friends that are going to call out our crap in a positive way. Because if we don't, we're stuck. We're just stuck. And it's really hard too, because like when Megan was just struggling Megan was almost a zombie for 2 months. Woe is me. I'm the victim of life mentality. And then all of a sudden, bam, now she's not. Like something switches, right? But if you don't have friends nudging you and kind of guiding you without being overly, offensive and overly rude, or, like, hey, if you don't go out and put job applications out, you're not going to get one. Guess what? And then bam, life-changing things happen. Life-changing things happen. And then a more positive attitude arises and we just feel better. It's just nice. It's just nice. Self-mastery, though, is a real pain in the ass. Like, it's tough. Like, if you're a big drunk, or you eat way too much, or every morning you go put on your pants and they're just a little tighter every day, you always got to wear elastic, you're probably not a master of yourself. If you're always getting upset at everybody else makes you upset, well, you are the problem. Not everybody else, you are. You are giving people permission to piss you off. You are giving people permission to run and rule your emotions. And if you're not aware of that, you just continue that pattern forever. And where the hell does that get you? Like, it just makes your life miserable. It just makes you miserable. It makes you a miserable human being. It just does. I try to work on myself all the time, and I don't know. Sometimes I think I'm good at it, and then sometimes I realize I really suck. I mean, it's just the way it is, right? I know Jacob as a young man. I've watched him over the past year of coming out here. I've been extraordinarily impressed by the different micro cycles of his life. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to do today's presentation, because if at a young age you don't start setting your goals, you don't start making the steps to get there, if you don't start honoring your word, if you don't go the extra mile and be inconvenienced by good friends, and I'm not talking about the good friends that you can call and maybe they'll show up. I'm talking about the friends that are going to tell you the blunt and honest truth. They're not going to sugarcoat crap for you, but they're going to be there. They're going to help you. You got to be around those people. And you got to be around people that can give you knowledge and ideas. Like, if you want to know how to run a successful business, you should probably go hang out and talk to Steve. If you want to know how to play golf really well, you probably should ask Steve. If you want to know how to cook really well, you should probably go talk to Dean. If you want to know what insurance products and how to sell them, you should probably go talk to Wayne. And as Jacob gets experience, maybe he's going to be a great carpenter, and you want to know how to build something, you're going to go ask Jacob. That's why having a community of friends is so important. If I want, as Megan gets experience in banking, well, we can go talk to Megan then. If we want to know how to build a saw, we'll go talk to Randall. We all have our different talents, right? If you want to know how to relax and calm the mind and smoke a fine cigar, well, you could either go see Kyle or me. I would prefer me, but it's okay. But confidence, all the confidence, it just comes from knowing ourselves and surrounding ourselves with good people. Like, I feel more confident when I have my beautiful wife beside me. Like last night, we had a fantastic dinner with a bunch of my old friends, and it was what we were talking about earlier. I'm the youngest guy, and I'm almost 55. I'm the youngest guy. Have been friends with them for 30 years. And then I come here, and I'm one of the oldest guys. It's kind of weird. Last night I'm the youngest, today I'm one of the oldest. It's a strange thing, but I'm confident in those situations because I've developed one thing that we all should strive. Keep your word. If you say something, you damn well better do it. I don't give two craps what it is. You do it. You do it. You do it. And a lot of people just say, I don't care. I don't care. I can be late, I can not show up, I don't have to go the extra mile at work, I don't really have to talk to that person, I don't have to do that because I just don't care. I don't care. Then you just kind of blend in with all the other don't cares in the world, and you just become mediocre, nothing. Just nothing. You just fade in and out. Nobody really cares. You're not even crafting an image. When people look at you, if you don't keep your word, they don't even think about you, really. Maybe you're funny. Maybe you're fun to hang out with. But then maybe you're not. Maybe you need somebody, but they're never going to be there for you because you were never one that kept your word. That is a problem. It's a big, big problem. And I don't even think we can have inner peace. I don't think we can do anything. I don't think we can do anything without understanding how to reduce our inner conflict. And that is by looking at ourselves in the mirror and saying, well, you know what? I think I'm the problem in this case. I think I'm the issue. A lot of times I am. Like almost all the time I'm the issue. Same way with you, Mario. You were the issue. You were the issue, thinking it's cool just to throw up in a backyard, you know? But that's a young man's thing, you know, like you can't get really upset about that or beat yourself up over it because, you know, most young guys do stupid stuff like that. And it's the guys that go, okay, that's probably a really bad decision and I'm not doing that again. That's the growth of life, right? You know, that's just the growth of it. And it just starts with, did I suggest that to you, Dale Carnegie's book? If y'all don't know Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, y'all should read it. It is phenomenal. And one of the reasons why it's so good is it teaches you the art of listening, like how to listen to other people. Because if you can't listen, if you're the guy that always interrupts, if you're the guy that always nonstop talks about just you and you don't really inquire about other people, then you're not winning friends and influencing anybody. You're just not. We are all trying to find the answers, and finding the answers in all the dogma and all the spiritual beliefs and all the religions is really, really difficult. But if you want to know BS path to enlightenment, just blunt, straightforward, in your face, really, how to live better and understand this life, then support our work, support yourself, and get the book today. So let's just go over a couple of things of how to know ourselves better. A lot of these are tough. I got in the habit a couple of years ago of wearing sandals most everywhere I go. And the reason I do that is because like when I take my dogs out in the backyard, I like to go downstairs barefooted and just take those few moments and walk in the grass. I just want to, at some point in the day, have my feet in the grass. I want to feel connected to Mother Earth. It only takes a few seconds. Like just do something. Reach down and go hug a tree. You know, I mean, just whatever it is. Take like what we promote and do out here. Just go walk in nature. You know, come out. If you're stressed out during the week, just come out and just take a walk through nature. Take some breath. It really makes a big, big, big difference. And a lot of y'all did not know breath work before you started coming here. Breath work is vital to helping your anxiety. And if you're having trouble going to sleep, nothing works better than about 15 minutes of good, hard breath work. You don't need to smoke a lot of pot. You don't need to get drunk. You don't need to do whatever you crazy kids do out there now. Just do some breath work. It clears your mind. You can go right to sleep. You can have a great meditation. It's fantastic. It's just fantastic. Journaling for my entire life, I've seen this in every self-help book everywhere, and it seems to be popular at times and it fades out and you hear about it again. Journaling is hard. Most people want to keep a journal and they never do. They think about it. The idea of it sounds romantic. Just write down a sentence every morning. What is my first emotion? Just have your journal right beside your bed. The second you get up, what is my first emotion? I'm exhausted. I don't want to get out of bed. Whatever it is, just write down. And then you can look at it later or never look at it again. Just get it out of you. Get it out of you. Just one sentence. And I highly recommend, I used to do this when I was about Mario's age, is write sticky notes everywhere. I would have sticky notes everywhere. Like, is this the best use of your time? Don't forget, you've got to go see your buddies today at 5 o'clock. And these were my business buddies. Like I was trying and been working on cultivating these relationships for 3 decades now. Don't forget to do that in my busy day. And I'm like, how am I going to squeeze these guys in? But you have to. Don't forget, you need to do this thing. I mean, sticky notes were a massive part of my life. They were everywhere. I think that's kind of why I ignore most of them today, because I have sticky notes everywhere now. I've just gotten too used to them. So you have to do something different. Whatever it takes to make your vision a reality, you can do it. You just can. And I think Jill's a good example of this because I hear her say it a lot. I should just listen to my gut. If I'd only listen to my gut then, or I mean, sometimes our gut is a liar. I mean, that's a fact. But a lot of times our gut is true. So if our gut is telling us something, maybe we should see what our mind says about it and kind of really think and figure it out and see what the best thing is for you. Like Jacob right now, he probably thinks he is so in love, and he might very well be. What does his intuition tell him? Well, whatever it is, run with it. Just go with it. Go with it until love is either so wonderful or so horrible. whatever it is, you have to experience it. Run, dare, jump out of the plane. Well, last week when we had that fun time, or was it the week before? It was last week. All right, so Jill has been wanting to jump out of a plane. We've been talking about it for about a half a year now. Now that it's getting warm, I would love for us to plan a trip like really, really soon in the next few weeks to go jump. So whoever wants to go, let's go jump out of a plane. I'm ready. And the reason you want to know yourself, I'm going to tell you, knowing yourself is a big deal when you're standing on that plane and you're right there and you got to do this and you can't hold on to the bar and the person behind you goes, on 3, 1, gone. You know, like it is, woo. Yeah, you get to know yourself a lot. But write down those things you want to do. Don't just, like we've been talking about it, but we haven't made it concrete. We haven't like wrote it down. We haven't made a date. We haven't called and made the appointment. Like we have to recognize, okay, Jill said she wants to do it. We've talked about it for months, but yet we haven't taken the next step. So we got to take the next step to actually go do it. And so whoever wants to go, let's all get together and put it in stone, because I'm ready. For all of y'all, and I'm going to keep bringing up journals this last time. Journals is so important. I've been writing in a journal since I've been about 16. I have hundreds of packed journals, or I did, but I burned most of them. What are you grateful for? Most people think they can start writing in a journal and they get frustrated because they can't get all their thoughts out and nothing ever comes out right. And that's why most people just stop. They don't do it. Just write down what you're grateful for. Just start off. What am I grateful for today? What am I grateful for that happened in my day today? Like Jacob could go home. He could have his journal. I'm grateful that Emma got to meet my Sunday group. You know, like that would just be a great start. I'm glad that happened. Desmond could say, hey, I was glad we got to move the water trough for the sheep. You know, like, you know, whatever it is, we can say it. I don't know what Ricky would be grateful for. He'd say, God, I got such a great friend in Kevin. That would be his first sentence. I don't know. You just got to find what you're grateful for and do it and be really self-expressive. I can't say this enough, and I'm not a good one for this. To be expressive and exercise your mind. Like most of you young kids don't even know how to write in cursive, huh? Do y'all write in cursive? Do you even know how to write in cursive? Yeah, sort of, kind of. Like that is weird. If you're going to write, it would be typically in print or you would type it. Like there's something that happens in your mind when you actually grab your pen, your writing instrument, and you write. It makes a big difference. But I'm talking about anything, whether, like, that's why we like to do paint day here every 3 or 4 months, is because it's expressive. We're using our inner core just to, whatever, if it's abstract, if it's drawing a tree, or if we're artists like Steve, like we're using our creative mind, and it helps our spirit, it helps our soul, and it helps us communicate. If you can't write a paragraph, how are you going to articulate and create your thoughts to somebody else? How is Randall going to have a conversation with me if he can't articulate his thoughts on paper? Like, how? And if you can't read them. I mean, if you can't read them, most people can't write. I got a letter from a guy 3 years ago, and I was amazed. Like, I really couldn't read it. And it was in print, and it looked like a 2-year-old wrote it. I'm like, what is happening here? I don't understand. I think we're having a dumber society, and I don't think it's necessary. I think if we're around people like us that work and strive to do and be more, we can. I reached out to my buddy Steve today because I had a lot of people call and say they weren't coming this morning. I mean, like an overwhelming amount of people just said they weren't coming. And I continued to get frustrated. And so I reached out to Steve and I told Steve, I'd appreciate it if you come because I'm irritated. I'm sure he could feel my irritation. And then I see y'all, and then I'm not so irritated. I'm sitting out there irritated with Kyle, and all of a sudden Desmond walks up. And I just smile. Well, there's Desmond. And then, Randall comes over there and joins. And then all of a sudden Megan and her kids come up, and they're high-fiving. And then we get the joy of seeing Jacob walk up with Emma. It was fantastic. And of course, Mario. We just have this. If we didn't have a community we could trust, and if we trusted and counted on, I don't think we have anything in this life. Because, being at that dinner last night with being the youngest one, and most of them were my decades-long friends, there's one thing that is common with those guys. They make time for each other. They're always together. They figure a way how to do things together. And that's what we do here. And I think that we're social, we're humans. We were built, God made us to where we need to be social. Even though we want to self-isolate. Sometimes we don't want to be around other people. We have to go outside of ourselves to know ourselves. And that was really the big point of the message today, because we've been talking about so many other topics lately of all the things we've been lied about, and there's so much stress in the world, especially right now. We have so many things happening in the world. And if you really knew yourself and you knew your goals, and I'm not a financial advisor, but Jill bought the VIXI last week. If you don't know what that is, you probably should. There's a lot happening in the world. There are a lot of ways to make money in this world, and I like to call money freedom coupons. And if you don't have enough, you're not free. You're just not free. You can't get better health. You can't get better. You certainly aren't flying first class, if you're flying at all. You can't do anything without freedom coupons, and if you want them, you better be around people that are working hard to get them, and being around people with good advice. Because the day is coming real soon when your job is not going to be here. Real soon. So you better figure it out, people. You better be around the right group, and you better be somewhere like here that grows their own food so that we can all share it, that raises their own meat so that we can all share it. That is we're going into a place that is going to be probably uncomfortable for the vast majority of mankind. And I hope that's not true, but it's probably true. And that's why you need communities like this. And if you're in the local area, I would and if you like what we talk about, then I would say come on out. We'll see you next time.